Hi everybody, welcome back. Well, now we're going to be verifying functions, verifying that two functions are in fact inverses of each other. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we do need to realize and remember that f of g of x must equal x and g of f of x must also equal x. If it doesn't, we're done. So it has to work for both of them. Now, what I just did is if you looked at the last video on finding the inverses, these are the two functions that I got. So it's a nice way for me to check to make sure I actually did my work right and this is actually going to be an inverse. So let's look at f of g of x. So f of g of x is going to be 2, and I'm going to have this minus 5 and then over 3. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to illustrate with a different color. Okay, I'm going to use this as my to the third, and what I have here is the cube root of 3x plus 5 over 2. Okay, so now I've got that in a different color, so that way it helps it to stand out. From here, I notice I work from the inside out. I have the cube root of something cubed. They're inverses of each other. So that gives me 2 times the quantity 3x plus 5 over 2 minus 5 over 3. From there, I realize as I see that I have a 2 in the denominator, 2 in the numerator, 2 in the denominator. They will divide to 1. They will not cancel. They will divide to 1. And when they do that, I end up with 3x plus 5 minus 5 over 3. From here, I realize that I've got a plus 5 minus 5, and so that gives me a 0. So I have 3x over 3. And from my 3x over 3, they divide out, and I'm left with just x. So it looks like, at least f of g of x, Mr. Ruger did his work correctly, which is sweet, because I don't like not doing my work correctly. It bothers me more than a slight bit. Now, let's take a look at g of x. So g of f of x is going to be the cube root of 3. We have this plus 5 over 2. Now from here, let's see what we're going to use a color here. Let's use a deep green. In here will be 2x to the third minus 5 over 3. Okay? Sorry, for the sake of time, I kind of put that in like that. I will go over why you shouldn't be so careless to do that. Matter of fact, we can take a minute. This says right now the way it looks at 2x to the third divided minus 5 divided by 3. It might be a good idea to just kind of illustrate that, hey, it's the whole thing divided by 3, so that way you don't get confused. And when I'm grading it, I don't get confused on what your intentions are. So from there, once again, we work from the inside out. I have numerator, denominator. They will divide out, so I end up with the cube root of just plain old everyday 2x to the third minus 5 plus 5 divided by 2. Okay? From there, I already got green. Let's find some other color. How about red? I have a plus 5 and a minus 5, so that gives me the cube root of 2x over 2. From there, I have 2 divided by 2. They will divide to 1. And I have, oh, stop, let's go back here because I'm missing a cube sign right there. And then we go back up and we say, so we have left the cube root of x to the third. And hey, cube root x to the third gives me x. So we have it working for both. This is an inverse of this function. We were able to find it in the last, and then we were able to verify it or prove it. I hope this was nice. Guys, you can look over this as much as you need to. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in class.